Greetings, good people. My name is DJ Holly and welcome to Point 5 Creative Studios. Chitubu cha content, chitubu chisingapu, chitubu chinoniwa nemunhu wese, chitubu chakavhenekwa chikaongororwa nana mazvikokota kunzi aiwaka. Chitubu ichi chine content iri healthy, content iri clean, content yakachena, yakakodzera kunge chikonsumwa nemunhu akaita kunge iwewe ndosaka uri panapa muzuva ranhasi. So if it's your first time here, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any exciting content uploaded. Asi kana wanga wagara uri mugaro wepanapa, toda kutenda nekuti sei nekurumidza kubhadhara rent. Thank you very much for supporting Point 5 Creative Studios. So the question for the day, mubvunzo uri kunetsa uri kubvunzwa nevanhu vakawanda mushure mekunge Dr. Makore vabuda pachena vachitaura nyaya dzearmy, ndewekuti is the army taking over? Is the army taking over? Ndozviri kubvunzwa nevanhu izvozvo, ndozvoda kuzivikanwa nevanhu vakaita sei vakawanda. So today we want to take a closer look panyaya dzakataurwa naDr. Makore, and then we see kuti zviri kumbonyatsofamba sei uyezve zvakamira sei, and I will give you an opportunity also to share in your views kuti unofunga sei, uri kuzviona sei. Very sorry, I pressed live, ndichiri busy preparing for this live, so some of my videos I haven't queued them properly, but I will try my level best kuti zvibude zvakangonaka zvakadaro andichika. So let me know where you are watching from, and let me know how are you viewing, are you seeing, what's your opinion when it comes to the Zimbabwean situation, kuti muri kuzviona sei, zvakamira sei, uyezve zviri kufamba sei. So zviri kunzi vaMnangagwa yesterday vakasangana nema-army generals. We are going to talk about that also. Zviri kunzi also ZEC haisi kuita sei, haisi kunakirwa. Hanzi haisi kunakirwa nezviro zvairi kuitwa nearmy, but army iri kunakirwa nezvairi kuita ZEC. Let me know where you are watching from, tidzifambire nyaya dzacho tiite sei tikurukure anditika. So to those who haven't seen or came across channel ya Dr. Makore, ndichange ndichikuratidzai panapa, moita sei moiona kuti zviri kufamba sei uyezve zvakaita sei zvakamira sei. Like what I have said, ndauya panapa ndazopress a live button by mistake. So I'm busy trying to get my stuff in order tichimbokurukura tichionesana kuti munozvionawo sei, muri kufunga kuti zvinobuda here, mabudiro azviri kufanira kunge zvichiita sei zvichiita, kana kuti is just nyaya dzepropaganda dziri kungotaurwa nevanhu anditika. So the first story that we want to look at ndezvekuti hanzi ZEC is in serious trouble. There is one thing that Dr. Makore said. He said kuti ukaona information isiri kuzara pasocial media, ukaona nyaya dzisina kutekeshera pasocial media, ziva kuti nyaya idzodzo inyaya dzechini, inyaya dzechokwadi. So let me just get the link quickly and then tipinde munyaya yeZEC timbonzwa kuti what is really going on ku department reZEC ikoko kuti zviri kumbofamba sei. But zviri kunzi hanzi vakaita chitsotsi, ma-elections akabirirwa, ende tese tiri kuzviziva, hapana asingazvizive kuti ma-elections were rigged. Even Sadiq yakatotaura kuti elections were not free and fair. Saka toda kuti tipinde munyaya tinzwe kuti zvakamira sei. Okay, just give me a second, let me see here what's going on here. Tinzwe kuti zvakamira sei uyezve zviri kufamba sei. Just hold on for a minute. Sorry genya rangu, pane zvinenge zvichiitika technology wise, but still bo atimire atidzoke kumashure. Thank you and Brian amen hanzi pamberi nebasa DJ Holly, ndo zvacho chaizvo zvebasa zvatinenge tichiita. And let me see what's going on here. Okay, let me just play the audio. Okay, here we go. Watching from Johannesburg. Okay, here we go. I think we are getting there. Yay! Panenge pakaipa. panenge pachipisa but tinokunda, hanzi tinokunda chete, zvinoda tunharo mbichana kuti tiite tisvike patiri kufanira kuti tisvike. Let me see what's going on here. What's going on here?
But nothing is taking place. But when information starts to run scarce on digital platforms and social media, then you know intelligence information is now at work. I'm here to give you a heads up of the position of our country, Zimbabwe, a country I love to heart. I've got my big brother, Philip Chabata. I love him to bits. He said something that I will now quote from here on. He said, politics should start to give, if not allow us as brethren to start to break bread and share, regardless of which side you are. So whether this is a ZANU-PF in divide fight that's happening or brewing or already in motion, there should be room for people from different opposite sides to be meeting with each other. I saw his photo and I just said, this can only be God. You don't need to hate somebody because they are on the opposing side. You've got to respect that they are having a different view to what you are having. I once reached out to certain people and said, you know what? Because I knew exactly what's happening behind the scenes. I said, you know what? There are some medias that needs to be silenced. They might look very small, but at the very same time, they are causing discomfort on the social media and to the people of the nation, of the native nation of Zimbabwe. Some might have taken heed, but not acted. But I can tell you, as a data systems analyst, it causes a lot of friction and resentment and unsettlement amongst the citizens. Here are things that's happening. And this information that I'm sharing, I'm helping the sitting president's camp so that they know exactly what's brewing behind the scenes. And at the very same time, the other opposing camp, so that they know what is being planned, although I know some of them are appraised. But at this point in time, information is now being limited to a lot of people, because when intelligence is moving, it moves silently like the waters of the oceans, but very powerful and destructive, if not realigning and bring us back to our original position. Let me get this one. I actually had to do some notes so that I don't skip anything from what I was being told and what we have discussed, and where I thought I could step in and help. Remember, I told some people I'm an IT specialist. That has always been my job. I'm an IT system specialist. I'm known for that. From back home in Zimbabwe, right here into the UK, I'm back home again in Zimbabwe. The situation that we are faced with is needing more of IT and political intelligence than anything. The masses are the last people in this jigsaw puzzle. Listen to this. The army has started to trace down the names of people who altered the V11s in the 2023 ended elections. And it has been confirmed that names have been taken. When you hear them saying names have been taken, it means to say now there's proof and tangible evidence as to how the people were identified. I'm going to run through all of this, because they cannot identify those people without consulting with the IT experts in the intelligence system. And listen to this. The rigging of elections is said not to be a scandal, but is now regarded as a crime according to the Zimbabwean law. If it's a crime, then it's going to be pushed further into it being a treason. This is exactly what's brewing behind the scenes. It's saying you cannot just rig elections and just allow it to be called a scandal. It's gone beyond a scandal. It's a crime. And if it's a crime, the political intelligence and the political legal team will explain to you how this is going to be classified as treason. At this point in time, even the CIOs, the operatives, they are already sweating on it, because they have known how things have been invaded into. And if you're a very active player in all this, what is now being classified as dirty work, please be on guard because things are not looking very good. The military has now demanded full access to all the V11s, not some V11s, not part of the V11s, but all V11s. And there's teams that have now been put on the ground. These are teams that I want you to understand. Remember, let me explain this. I am one of the 14 SAN certified personnel in Zimbabwe. I have been since 1996. I've been one of the SAN certified personnel in Zimbabwe. When you talk of SAN Systems, which is now owned by Oracle Systems, we are talking about the MOD's systems that they use, because those are the most secure, robust systems that can never be broken into. They are not like Microsoft systems. Those can be hacked. That's why you see your mobile phones can be hacked. But if you are running on the SAN certified systems, you are running on one of the most secure servers ever. Even the American intelligence system, that's what they use. The United Intelligence System, that's what they use. Zimbabwe has got that. So just take note of that. And I will come into this. So there's teams that have been put on the ground to deal with this. And obvious, they will be consulting with one or two people. They will reach out so that they will see where we can help here and there. The position stands like the data analysts are now in position and have already started doing their assignment. The strategic analysts, they are already in position. They have already started doing their work as well. The military legal experts have also been infused. So the table as of now is consisting of those three teams: the data analysts, the strategic analysts, and the military legal analysts. They are trying to come out exactly with tangible evidence and occurrence of how things went during the voting of the 2023. This would not have been, I tell you, had everyone swallowed their pride, sat down and accept their flaws, so that they take a round table to discuss on these things. Inconsistencies, duplicate forms, rewritten numbers, and digital signatures that didn't match have already been found from the systems. I can tell you things are not looking very good. Such information is not meant for public domain. That's why you see you're no longer hearing noise on social medias, but now it's time for the intelligence system to be flowing through. Inconsistencies, it's one big let down for the people that were holding or were responsible for the upkeep of the information. Duplicate forms have also been found, as much as we talk about rewritten numbers, where numbers have been altered. At the very same time, digital signatures that are always entered into the system to conclude verification didn't match with what's on the backup servers. This isn't now anymore about politics. I can tell you that. This is now more about the protection of the Constitution. The sitting president has always said, I'm a constitutionalist. He knows that it's the one that needs to be protected, adhered to, and respected. So this is no more about politics. It's all now to do with protecting the Constitution. A altering of government documents is not and cannot be classified as a clerical error. Altering of government documents is classified as sabotage. So what is classified as sabotage? Where does this leave us? It means to say logs digital changes have been made to the ZEC servers through the verification system. This is unacceptable at all levels. This is unacceptable at all levels. So the logs of digital signatures have now been changed. Changed on the ZEC servers through the verification system. It's a thing that is now being seriously looked into. Why is it going to this extent? It means to say the system is shaken and everyone is quaking. No wonder why you don't hear anybody making any comment about the current situation. 3 ZEC officials, I can tell you, I can confirm because it's been given to me, I've been told that 3 ZEC officials were now being questioned in the barracks under a military integrity protocol. What this entails is no lawyers, no solicitors are allowed to represent nobody. because it's the military defending the constitution. So the 3 ZEC officials' names have been handed over. These are not things for public domain. So no lawyers in this case, no headlines, just silent interrogation. When you see that happening, then you know intelligence is now at work. Yeah. This is no longer about rigging. This is now everything to do about treason. You know, when things are going right and you're on the right side, you tend to forget that one day things can turn around and you being untouchable can be overturned to you being very vulnerable.
Yes.
At this point in time, I'm just telling people, if not warning them or advising them, please don't be too loud on social media, especially when you know there are some people who are hurting. And above all, the case that has been brought to on public domain by this person of Geza, it's not a case that can simply die a silent death. It's a case that's going to be needing everyone to be involved. What has Geza done? Geza has opened a can of worms onto the public domain. And now the data linen is being watched on public domain as well. His messages are not there to beg the military per se, as people are concluding. No. If you do that, you are shallow in politics. Sorry to say. But let me help you. What Geza is now doing, asking the military and the general, the retired army general, Constantine Chiwenga, to help the people. He is just steering anger within the electorate, but he knows exactly what's happening behind the scenes. So don't confuse his utterances. It's all going to add up when the jigsaw puzzle is being put together. As of now, keep watch of that guy. And certain media handles need to be closed down because they are unraveling a lot of feathers. Questions that you might be having are, who altered the V11s? ZEC has always claimed for transparency. So who then might have altered the V11s? This is where people like myself, IT specialist people, systems analysts come into play and try to find out when such a question has been handed over. Not everyone has system access to alter data. Any data within any system has got access rights. I'll give you a good example. If you work in the banking sector and you're a bank teller, when you log on, your access rights only points you to allow you to do transactions, deposits, and withdrawals. That's why you see amongst the tailors, there's somebody who's called a senior tailor, who is the one who can further on to give you anything that needs further changing. Let's say somebody has withdrawn wrong fees from wrong account and money wants to be put back before they do the second withdrawal from a different account. The front tailor's access rights does not allow them to do that. They would need a senior one who will log in using their own logon credentials so that they have better access rights and they've got the rights to do those alterations. Everyone within any system has got limited access rights. Even myself as an administrator, there is things that I cannot access that is being used by the daily users. If I want to help them change something within the system on the programming side, I can do on the programming side, but I'll have to ask them to write to test everything from the front end. Reason being, my access rights does not give me full access rights to the whole system. It only gives me access rights to programming and making changes to the system, but not transacting from within the system. So, who might then have altered the data? The following divisions are now under serious investigation. The IT Systems Department, which was responsible for the secure upload of the V11 results. So that's one department that's now under serious investigation. Number 2, the regional command units who send in verified results from each constituency or district. They are also under serious investigation by the military. Number 3, the data review committee, those who are tasked with consolidation of final tallies before the release or the announcement of the results. They are also under investigation. I repeat those three. Number one, the IT Systems Department. Number two, the Regional Command Units. Number three, the Data Review Committee. Those three are now under serious investigation by the military. We move on. You've got now to understand, because of those departments, there's people that head them. It's those people who are now being questioned, and they've got to make sure that they come out clean. If not, they are going to be in for a serious charge, which could be heading to treason. So everyone has got the right now to be trying to claim their name. There are 7 individuals that are now under full surveillance. One of the 7, 2 of them, one has been given what we call indefinite leave. You cannot leave the country at this point in time. They are now under full 24/7 surveillance. Number 2, another one was been told also not to leave the country because some people, they work, one of them, from what I'm told, has been given a diplomatic position. So they've now been told not to leave. I'll not disclose names because that's not what I'm here for. I'm just here to tell you how the system is standing at this point in time, the position that has been taken. The mistake that has been made, which has now been discovered by the media people, by the IT people, information technology people. They have left what we call a digital footprint. Whenever you do these things, please don't leave us behind. We help you a lot when it comes to how to clear the digital footprints. But if that hasn't been done, it has now been identified. So the digital footprints are now discovered. How did the army pull this on out? How did the army pull it off? The army, a joint team of Zimbabweans and Russian experts, are sitting on table trying to verify, making sure that they crack through everything. No wonder why all these digital footprints have now been discovered. How does it work? I will explain this to you as an IT specialist. A full metadata audit has now been deployed. When you talk about a full metadata audit being deployed, there is 4 things that we look at. Number 1, we look at the digital timestamps. Number 2, we look on the IT based addresses. You know, every IT system or every IT gadget that you use, it's got what we call an IP that it uses to access information. Number 3, we match the logon credentials. Number 4, we do what we call cross-reference or full CCTV footage. This alone can get any person to be picked anywhere, regardless of what gadget you might have used. So this one becomes a very easy one because everything was being commanded from the command office and from the ZEC office. So the CCTVs there will identify the individuals who were visiting, what they were doing. We then also look at the digital timestamps, who logged in, accessing what, at what point in time. So if you log on trying to access the results, it will also show in the digital trail. That's what we call a footstamp. So when you look at this is what we call a full-blown digital forensic audit. It's not as easy as I've explained. There's a lot of things that we do behind the scenes. You just need to know the basics or the surface part of it. But a lot is going to be extracted from it. It's now known, I can make it and put it in public domain. It's now known who made the changes, when, and from what computer, and which server they used. Jesus Christ. You cannot work in IT and be daft. You need to be intelligent when you are working with these systems. What has been discovered? What has been discovered is the original V11s hidden under the deep folders of the server, and there is a digital paper trail which leads to the real people who did the amendments of the V11s. What am I saying? It's gone too serious for it to be discussed in public. So question is this treason? That's where the legal bombshell comes in. Is this treason? Section 20 of the Zimbabwean law, let me just tell you what I've been told on the law side. Remember, I told you any fact given, we have to transform it into a system for us to be able to interpret it using the systems that we design. So it's very simple. Section 20 of the Zimbabwean law defines manipulation or altering of voting material as a criminal law. So there's legal people, legal experts who are going to make sure that they are putting everything right to make sure that a treason charge can be raised against these people. And I repeat it, Section 20 of the Zimbabwean law defines manipulation or altering of the voting materials as a criminal law. But because military is involved, we are now talking of national security breaches. It moves from just treason, or it can be aided to treason, because now there is national security breaches. Any person who breaches national security rights, you are straight away, definitely without fear or favor, going to be charged with treason. That's why the military is now involved. This will be classified as a constitutional betrayal. And for that, it is treason. And military legal experts are now being consulted on how to frame the charges. So if I had my big brother, the hothead Tendai sitting there, he's not a military expert anyway. He's not. No, Tendai is not a military expert. We have got people who are military experts who are within the KG6 in there. They know the military law. So they are now crafting to see how this can be classified, how they can come to frame the charges for it to be classified as treason. And once it's classified as treason, you know, in Zimbabwe they don't hang people, but it's life in prison. How much, if that happened, how much were you paid? Was it worth it? And where are we heading? When you hear of silence, when you hear of silence and internal panic, you will never hear a further move. You will not see people coming to make comments on public domains. So the fact that the social media has gone quiet because there's no news to report, it means to tell you that something serious is brewing inside. This information I'm giving to the team of the sitting president, because they are the ones who are now mostly being deviated from accessing this information. So I've put it just for them to help. I don't want to be very, very attached to this, but all I can tell you is things are not looking very well. Look at it. At this point in time, you don't get to see public panic anymore. There is no more public noise. There is no more just these people who say, if you hate so and so, just say boom. There is no more lies flying all over. The silence of Geza is now being confused and being commented by people who are not even qualified to comment about his silence. So if you hear any person who's talking about the silence of Geza, just know they are not aware of what's happening. I've got simple questions. Do you think Geza doesn't know Yokai Mabuno? I'm just asking you questions. Do you think the vice president is not knowing about everything that's transpiring? Do you think the posting of Millie Baloyi is just information just for her to tell you about the Miss whatever, Miss World, Miss Universe, Miss whatever? No. It's what we call building of personal CV on a good frame, so that whatever happens or is intended to happen, if it goes through, they tend to be the most, if not best, candidates to replace as people move to the next transitional government.
Right. Those who have ears to hear, Murusians, those who have eyes to see, you can see. I like the way you guys are asking questions, the way you are interacting in the comment section. If I can find and get hold of Dr. Makore, I will talk to him and bring him online. This video was taken to his channel, on his channel, the Informant. So you can go there and subscribe for more videos. This guy, I believe, is an apostle. That's why he knows a lot of people. He is neutral. He's dealing with a lot of politicians. He knows a lot of famous people. So, munhu ari pakati nepakati, so to say, he's representing the church. Let me just come with that angle. He's representing the church. So, ndonyaya iripo and parikupisa zvekudaro. And thank you very much for all the messages that you are sending. There's this one particular message that I want to read here. Tisati taenda ku the next video. This message is coming from Evangelist Bullet J. Hlupiwa, yeah, I mean, if I get it right, he's saying, whoever was saying DJ was Murakashi, I think people failed to read DJ Holy's plan. When it was like he was criticizing Geza, DJ was only trying to force Geza kuti vataure more uye chokwadi chibude, and we are where we are right now because of those questions that I was asking, those questions that I was pushing kuti zvisvike pazvasvika muzuva ranhasi. And someone asked also in the comment section kuti how far can we trust this guy Makore? Let me see if I can get the message quickly there. Yeah. Can we trust Makore? Can we trust Makore? Who to trust? I saw this guy on Kambakwe platform. Before I saw this next video that I'm going to show you, let me just read you a message from one of my sources. Yandakatumirwa nezuro. Zvikanzi Mnangagwa has held meetings with the army generals, not to defend himself, but to present the completed projects he has done ever since taking over. Okay, and then in a nutshell, this is coming from another source, and this is also coming from him. So putting 2 and 2 together, make a sense somewhere, somehow. So for now, let's give him a benefit of the doubt. Timboona kuti zviri kufamba sei. And another source also, I'm not saying anything, but he said in the next 72 hours, Mnangagwa is going to be summoned. Saka handikuziva kuti zviri kufamba sei, because you don't rely on one source. That's one thing that I'll tell you. You have to have a lot of sources. Onzwa kuti uyu ari kuti chi, uyu ari kuti chi, uyu ari kuti chi, and then you can come out on public and give people information that, guys, this is what I have, this is what the people they are saying. The moment I started seeing nyaya nyoka yemabhunu going up and down, ichiita kunge nyoka zvichitenderera tenderera, I withdraw and said, Maya, iri politics dzisiri dzesize yangu, rega ndisiyane nadzo. That's why you see I haven't reporting anything about nyoka yemabhunu, about the court cases, about mari dziri kufundraiswa and stuff, because I know kuti I have a certain influence, especially on people who follows me, and they know kuti what I represent, zvandinomiririra zvakaita sei, zvakamira sei, anditeka. So without wasting much of your time, let's jump into the next video and the teens of kuti what was going on, the meeting between Emerson Mnangagwa and the army general, kuti zviri kumbonzi chii, what is really going on kuseri ikokoko, because we all want to know what is going on, and we all want to know kuti where are we going as a nation, tiri kumboenda kupi, takananga kupi, chii chichazoitika, nekuti all of us tatambura. I saw vanhu vakapwanyirwa dzimba vachichema kuti hanzi nyange zvikaita sei vaMnangagwa ndibaba vedu. It's a story for another day. Ndichazoya nayo toita sei toitaura panapa anditika. So let me just get ready for this video quickly. Tiite sei tifambirane pamwe chete tionesane kuti zviri kufamba sei.
Lines. So as it went by, the president had a meeting at KG6 with all generals. Let me read what has been given to me in detail. Right. He has approached the generals with proof of work that he has done during his tenure as the president up to this very day. He said the liberation was not just about fighting to make the people free, but it was also about building the native nation of Zimbabwe, which he's saying he has done and is still doing. That's why he still wants to pursue his vision up to 2030. So,
sorry, on this video, I'll be stopping where I think it's necessary, and then I'll also pass my comments there, because according to me, that's BS. Sorry, Zhenyu, I had talk on the other video, but sometimes we need to challenge this thinking. We need to challenge Madara Aya, at least they must up at their game. Chii chiri kuitwa naMnangagwa right now that we can say kuti ari kuda kuramba aripo till 2030. It's not making sense. What has he done? Saka ndichange ndichimisa ndichitaura ndichisawo pfungwa dzangu ipapo, and ndichange kana pane zvakanakawo zvamuri kuonawo zvamakaitirwa navaMnangagwa, isai mucomment section. I will gladly read them panapa tozvionawo tese kuti takaitirwa chakati nababa kubva pavakapinda, takaitirwa chakati nechakati. Saka ngatinyorei mucomment section tichipfuurira mberi nevideo redu.
That he does not leave or abort the assignment that he has started. He said, we fought for a Zimbabwe that defends itself. We also fought for a Zimbabwe that is capable of feeding itself. That's why there's this Fumvudza program. He said, we also fought for a Zimbabwe that leads itself. What he was trying to say is he's not looking for people to be trying to find support from outside of the country. If there be any challenges, he wants them to be settled in-house within the nation of Zimbabwe, because he doesn't want outside influence or outside interaction. A thing that I know definitely is not what the vice president is up for. He's already backing up support and making sure that he's beefed up to support anything that comes in regards, if his push through his command is adhered to, and the sitting president tries to fight back or rebel, then he has got a backing that can topple what is fating to do. There's a message that has been doing rounds. It's not yet confirmed to me, but I've tried to check with one or two people where the VP, the vice president, just wrote what we call a colloquial statement, where he mentioned that anything that we start, we will finish. Nobody knows exactly what it meant, but because there's a political feud going on, people have started to interpret it differently, others trying to make sure that it means what they want to hear. We are still keeping our tabs closed. I'll be coming with that news at a later time, maybe tomorrow. You have to bear with me because I'm not a journalist. You should bear that. I do some work. I do work. I do run some business somewhere. So I've got to invest my time in that as well. But as and when I get time, I will make sure that I will try and feed you with information that is very current, so that you don't get confused by information that's doing trolls all over. I respect every person who's trying to feed information, but people should also know that they will leave people agitated if they don't give correct and proper information. I've said this about the Nyokaima Bono issue. I've got the documents. I'm not talking about people who have told me about something. I'm telling you about what I have. I have the documents, and I have actually had him to disclose the name that he was using and the atrocities that's behind that name, and why now the Zimbabwean government seem to be pulling strings in winning over that case if it is not handled well. And all those people that have been applauding him when he was making the shouts, and I know he had a generic statement that he was saying that very legendary. Everyone was starting to say very legendary. Some people can be comic, but at the very same time, he had a drive and a mission of what he dreamt to be the best way forward. Unfortunately, the young guy didn't have backing. So as of now, he's running short of financial assistance because his solicitors, if they pull out for non-payment, then the whole deal is gone. The young guy will be expatriated to Zimbabwe.
Okay, right. Let me just share a little bit information about Nyoka Mabunu from what I know and what I've understood from following the story and from receiving nyaya idzi from sources. Zviri kutaurwa izvo zvinzi Nyoka Mabunu was once a member of parliament, an MP, achikwikwidza akamirira ZANU-PF. I don't know kuti akahwina here kana kuti akadyiwa here, and there was a part, a function yaisapota Mai Mujuru. Saka pakabva Mai Mujuru papai ndo paakaendawo kurong side raEmmerson Mnangagwa. So ndo paya pamainzwa every time tichitaura kuti iyi inyaya yeZANU-PF iyi. Ngavapedzerane zvinhu zvavo ikoko, isusu vanhu tozopindira panguva yatinenge tanziwo tipindire taona kuti zvakuita sei zvakuda ruzhinji rweZimbabwe. So panyaya iyoyo ndo paari kuzonzi vakazopiwa here housing cooperative yakazopiwa inonzi mastands acho ndo pane 1 yakatengesewa nani naNyoka Yemabhunu. Ndo nyaya iri kuitika, and then at the same time ari kunzi ari kushandisa zita, aishandisa zita risiri rake, forged documents aishandisa kunoko. Nyaya yacho is very complicated, but at the end of the day kuseri kwacho just to know kuti it's political. Pane zvakaitika zviri kuitika ende zvavari kuita sei zvavari kuda kupedzerana kuti vaite sei vagadzirisane ikoko handitika. So let's move forward.
I can tell you without fear or favor that you'll be roasted by the system. You know, the system, it doesn't mess about with people that try to mess up with it. So people need to stand up with the guy. Let me not deviate from what I'm talking about here. Let me go back to the KG6 meeting because that's where the issue lies more. Right. The president has presented a track record of the things that he has done. These are real projects, and these are not just projects that he's talking about to be done. He has actually shown the real progress in the project that he has undertaken. These are key facts. These are facts, and they are key to the nation building. What he was saying during the time of his address, he said, key national projects that he started to point out to, I'll mention them one by one so that people get to know that as much as the fight is on, he's saying, like I always tell people, have 2 goods, 1 improvement. He did not say he's a perfect man. He did not defend all irregularities that are being claimed or pointed to him, but he also had to point out on some things that he has done so that if he is to be judged, he's not to be judged using information that's being thrown all over on Twitter. But if he is to be judged, let him be judged fairly because of what he has done in building the nation of Zimbabwe. Please don't bring emotions to me. I'm just a messenger. Otherwise, I won't be patient with people if they don't allow me to express or share information that is not easily reachable by many. Right. He mentioned the Beitbridge border post modernization. He says, as you can see, it's now the best border post in the whole of Southern Africa. It can even be compared to any other border post in any country in Africa. He wants to believe we have got one of the best that has been done during his tenure as the president of Zimbabwe.
Ngatisashandisa my emotions, but zvimwe zvinhu zvacho on a serious note, if this meeting kana yakaitika and the army generals are hearing this and they are going to ignore womusiya akadaro mudaro yachienderera mberi, there's something wrong. There's something wrong. I will start losing respect from the top to bottom yevanhu vacho. Chii chakadaro? Maprojects api ayo akadai so aya? Boys pakaipa. Nyora comment section zvauri kufungawo. Macomments enyu ndiri kumaona. I'll go through macomments timboona kuti zviri kufamba sei. But maprojects aMnangagwa akutanga kutaura zviriko here izvi? hanzi naapostle naningirini nadhoku musaise ma-emotions. I'm just a messenger. Pakaipa.
He has also gone on to mention the Harare Masvingo Bay Bridge Road, the rehabilitation part of it, and say it was a massive success, and it's making now business to be easy for people to transport, for business transportation, traveling of people. He said that's a massive. Consider the fact that that road is a stretch of 585 kilometers. He said that's a big achievement and is still looking to do more of those projects. He spoke about the Kovimba mining initiative, and he says that's another initiative that's going to be income generating and for the nation of Zimbabwe, and it's also going to be creating employment for quite a number of people. He did not stop there. He even went on to speak about the Manhize, the Dealstone Iron and Steel Company project. He said that $1 billion project is most likely to be creating close to 6,000 jobs. And he even pointed to say that it is the largest steel plant that is going to be implemented in Africa, meaning to say Zimbabwe is going to be on top of every other nation when it comes to steel production. And he's looking at it positively. He was not saying this to boast, but he was saying this for legacy purposes, to say, if you are to judge me, but you should also take note of some of the projects that I have done. Let this not divide your opinions. Every person is entitled to their own opinion. I'm just reading what I know has been discussed within the behind the door meetings. He went on to speak about the agriculture, the Fumbudzo Rural Project, and he said empowerment is being given and is still being given to people who are doing their own agricultural projects and feeding into the Fumbudzo, so that the nation becomes a self-sustaining nation that can feed itself. He even strayed his explanation to the e-government and digital stabilization of the ZIMRA. He said it's the best system that has ever been implemented in the country of Zimbabwe, if not in most of these African countries. The ZIMRA digitalization, it's a must. He says it's a masterclass according to how he has done it. It's some of the projects that have been implemented during his tenure in office as the sitting president. Last but not least, he spoke about transparency and military housing, the project that he intends to be doing, and have already started on them, to say these are some of the achievements that he has done and achieved during his time in the office. These are not just slogans, but these are real structures that he has actually put in place. And he is saying, whatever Twitter might say, whatever negative people might say, please do not judge me using social media comments, but judge me by the work and progress that is visible, tangible, and has been implemented, not just being spoken of. During his time of explanation, he said he took it downlands, what we call the Chitepo School of Ideology. He reminded people of great people that have been there before him, people like Herbert Chitepo, the late Robert Gabriel Mugabe, the people that have fought for the liberation of this country, and how great and how faithful they had stood with the country during the hard times to make sure that people are fully liberated. So through the Herbert Chitepo School of Ideology, he was reminding the military generals that they should know where they came from before, and they should know where they were before they came through the whole system of Chitepo School of Ideology that empowers them to be where they are today. He says the best way to stand with a country and know that you are moving forward is when you check on development, because it is the highest form of patriotism. You cannot just be patriotic when you are not building the nation's infrastructure. I push it furthermore to what has been shared with me. He said he didn't defend his position when he has come before the generals. He said, I'm not here to defend my position, but I've invoked the ideological mentality within you guys who are leading as the army generals. You must know that most of them have been placed in those positions after all the reshuffles by him. So for him to know that he's now being challenged, it also becomes a challenge to him to try and see who is the person pushing behind it. As much as they might have seemed to have crossed roads with General Chiwenga, one thing that I need to remind people and make them aware is he himself, the sitting president, knows how powerful the vice president is also. If it comes to power, they could be close to 50-50, although it is the sitting president who has structured these systems. He is not paying a deaf ear, even playing a blind eye to the presence of the vice president, Constantine Dominic Nyikadzino Chiwenga. He knows that he's a powerful man. It's only the people around him who are trying to abort Chiwenga the wrong way, and they are touching him because they've never known him, they've never known who he is. But the sitting president does know the person who is his VP. Yes, upgrading of the Victoria Falls is another matter that he factored in when he was discussing or expressing what he has achieved as the president. He says he has turned it into a foreign and national business hub. And for sure, as you can all tell, the place is looking magnificent, international. You have seen most people starting to visit that place. These are some of the projects that he's pointing to. Other people might come and say, we know about the projects. What you are not happy about is the inflated prices that have been put, yes, that have been used in putting up those places. It's a discussion for another day. He also spoke about the commissioning of the new Parliament Hub in Mount Hampden. He said he has moved from the Smith-inserted Parliament, and he has tried to show people that we are a liberated country. We cannot continue to be housed in things that were built by us, by our former colonial masters. Henceforth, he has commissioned the building of the new Parliament Hub, which is in Mount Hampden, and is taking pride in that. So if ever anything he is to be judged, he is saying, help me at all costs to appreciate the things I have also done.
Right, out of all those things that has been mentioned right there, zvinhu zvese zvataurwa, of course, let's clap hands, tovaombera maoko. Mukuru vari kuchimhanya, vakapenga mukuru. But what has he done to ordinary people? Hakuna mvura, hakuna magetsi, hakuna mabasa, chifambi chawanda, mbavha n'anga dziri kubira vanhu mari, zvimaprofita enhema ari kubira vanhu mari, zvihure, vanhu vari kuita zvese. But tine mutungamiriri wenyika. Migwagwa iri ngogadzirwa yavanofamba iyo yekumusoro ikokoko. But what about the ordinary person? Vanhu vari kupwanyirwa dzimba dzamakavapa futi imimi. Inini I think magenerals aya anofanira kutombondibatawo ndimbotaurawo nawe inini ndichisawo side rangu of the story, and I'm willing to represent the people, because right now what is happening inyaya dzekuti bhaisa. We all know nyaya dzakataurwa mukoti kunzi mari yemombe, presidential goat scheme, naMike Chimombe nemalawyers avo kuti yakaiswa muaccount maEmerson Mnangagwa. President ndo vakaisirwa mari muaccount mavo. Why Mike Chimombe na Moses Mpofu varivo vakasungwa, yet mumwe wacho aripo mharapatsetsetse, nunzva tunzva Chivhayo ari panze? Ndo zvinhu zvofanira kunge zvichitaurwa izvozvozvo nemaarmy generals, vachiisa munhara uyu pakona, kwete kuti anosvika achivanyengerera achitaura tunyaya tusina kana nebasa rese, nyaya dzisina kana direction. Chii chakadare ichochichi? Vana vangani vari kuita madrugs right now because havana activity yavari kuita? Maindustries mangani, mashopu mangani akavharwa kubva 2017? Ngatisataura nyaya yesocial media, ngatitaure zviri paground right now as we speak. I know a couple of people vaindifonera vachiti basa rapera, tavharwa, company yavhara, maOK yavhara. Macompanies hobo, they are closing down. Ukasatozviitira zvinhu zvako wega, ukasatovhara vanhu, haukwanisi kurarama muZimbabwe. Do you think you will make an e-living, you will earn money from selling mshonga wemakonzo. Guys, let's be serious. Mnangagwa is playing with people. I know Apostle at times you mustn't use emotions, but those zviri paground tinenge tichirwadziwa nezvavari kuita vakomana. They are playing with people's life. Vari kutamba neupenyu hwevanhu. Ende mimi vanhu vacho futi makapusawo futi. Ndakaona evidhio imwe mhomzi ichitaura kuti hanzi Mnangagwa ndibaba vedu, ndosaka ndakatodzingwa mumba yandapwanyirwa ndakatoapfeka. Iyo wakamboona baba wako biological father wako achikudzinga paimba yawakakupa. Indakani makapusa muchibhaizwa nezvinhu zvakapusa stereki. Zvinhu zvakadhakwa zvanenge zvichiitika. Inini I'm requesting, I'm going to write another letter and then I will be questioning those army general. If this meeting was a real meeting, I'm willing to represent people and I'm willing to be asking those questions. Kuti ordinary person, munhu nje akaitirwei neZANU-PF. What has Mnangagwa done? He has been part of the system since independence until now. Vaagwina chinhu vaachitora. What has he done? Ona mfano wepaBurkina Faso ari kuchimhanya, hazvitombode kuudzirwa, unongoona wega. Vari kufara, vari kunakirwa zvisingaite. But wedu uyu anotaura kuti hanzi akazogadzira road. Zvinotibatsire izvozvo isusu. Road pakazogadzirwa parliament nyuwani. Tinei nazvo zveparliament nyuwani. Vangani vakapinda basa pakagadzirwa parliament iyoyo. Nanhasi yakapera kugadzirwa, saka vari kuita sei? Vari kurarama sei? Magetsi tomaona sei? Mvura toiwana sei? Jacob Mapfume makaona akakunhingirikirwa nechikomisheni chachiye zvikanzi ane mhosva, ane mastenzi, vari kuita sei maland barons chichichi. But right now he's still in office. Corruption. Zvekutaurwa nageneral, corruption. People are suffering because of corruption. Malecturers epa-UZ vari kugadzira vana vedu, vari kugadzira madzikoma edu, vari kugadzira hanzvadzi dzedu kuti dzizomiririra nyika iendewo kumberi, tiwane maengineers, tiwane madoctors. Vari kupiwa $220 take home. And then unotaura maprojects anzi takagadzira road. Don't judge me according to social media. Sorry to say this, but mukuru wenyika vari kubhaiza. Ari kutobhaiza last number. Ari kubhaiza last number. And we are not here kumusekerera kana kumuomberera maoko. I'm going to write another letter. If this meeting was real, if it was true, I want to challenge my project. Zvake zvese zvaari kutaura izvo kuti what is an ordinary citizen benefit? Hatina magetsi, hatina mvura, migwagwa yacho yakadhakwa. Mabhini haasi kutakurwa, and you put the blame on the council. Council inoisa blame kwamuri kuti mimi hamusi kutipa mari, budget redu rishoma, zvakaita sei. So we are playing the blame game. Back and forth, back and forth. Ende munoramba muchitonga kusvika 2030. Doing what exactly? Pane zvimwe kazvekuti tinosekererana tichitaunge zvinhu zvakanaka, but tichibhaiza. Kubhaiza kuti tinenge tichivasekerera vanhu ava, ndo problem yatinoita, tinovasekerera vanhu ava. Vanhu vachida ma-live stream every day, vachitaurirwa nezvavo kuti aiwa, kwanaiwa komana nyarai. People are suffering. Don't play with people emotions. And let me just address futi tumwe tumachannel turi kupiwa mari, tuchitaura zvinhu zvepropaganda. Turi kukuzivai. And the time will come and then we are going to expose you neunhu hwenyu ihwohwo. Moita kunge muda kunyembedzera kubatsira vamwe vanhu vanenge vakasungwa futi vapara futi mhosva dzavo zvavanenge vakaita. Tukukuzivai vanhu imimi. Saka musauya panapa muchitinyepera, muchitibhaiza, muchitaura zvinhu zvakadhakwa. This is bullshit. Zviri kutaura izvi ndezvekupenga last number. Ndezvekupenga, hapana kana project 1 yaari kuita ine musoro. Hapana. Saka tingafarire mageto etsu kuti hanzi takagadzirwa airport. Tombera maoko kuti mudara ari kuchimhanya. Aumanaka. Takagadzirwa mbudzi roundabout. Mudara ari kuchimhanya. Are we going to benefit anything from mbudzi roundabout? Ngatimboonesanai. Mota dzinopfuura zvakanaka, dzopfuura dzichienda kwadziri kuenda. But magetsi hatina kamanheru. Mabasa hatisi kuenda. Mari dziri kungobiwa, goridhe riri kungobiwa. Saka muda kuti isusu as ma ordinary person toita sei? Hazviko izvi. hazviko 100%, hazvitomboriko, ndezvekupenga izvi. Last number. Kana iriyo meeting yakaitika zvemashuwa ikai, ende kana mageneral akateerera izvozvizvi kai, zvakangooma.
During the address, there were different emotions and different reactions. Now, this is where it all starts to boil up. Listen to this. Other generals started to nod in agreement as he was reading and going through the physical, tangible, and already in place projects that he has actually commissioned during his time as president. Others never responded. They were only taking notes because he was addressing them as cadres, but not as the boss. So for that, others kept silent while he's just taking notes and never commented or said nothing. With others that were sitting opposite each other while he was addressing, the eyes were just clashing from what I'm told. At times eyes can talk. Yeah? At times eyes can talk. You would want to know who it is that is talking to who. But during that time, I'm told that eyes were clashing, talking. Meaning to say there are some people who were actually coordinating, trying to weigh what was being said, whether it was making sense or not, whether they were going to buy into what was being addressed to them or still stick to their guns on what they want. If it's change, we're going to be hearing more about that. During that time, there was what we call, because this is the military, this is not the social media hub, where people just come and blast, where people can just throw comments, where people can just label others, where people can just divide amongst themselves, where people think they know everything and they don't give time to listen to somebody. What it is, this was the military, highest ranked personnel that was being addressed by one former senior cadre who took to war with them and came back with them and have known for all this more than 45 years of being together. They had been together before the liberation. So 45 years into the liberation, plus the time they spent while they were in the bushes and the trenches, this bond is what was being reminded by the president to the army generals. So what was in the room, it was for commenting, no questioning. It was just listening and control emotions. But at the very same time, there was full attention being paid to what he was saying. The room regarded him as a former comrade and not as a boss when he was addressing. Meaning to say his powers were toned down for them to be close to the same level so that they can reason together. There's something that I want to express here. Other officials in that room, they then started to question as to why projects were now being pushed after the invocation of all these things. The things to do with issues like the hospitals, where Parenyatwa has been the outcry of all hospitals, avenues, and all the other hospitals, the Mpilo Hospital, where they have been degraded up to close to, like what they are saying, close to nothing. Then all of a sudden, because its pressure has been mounting, the president has gone to Belarus, where he is said to have acquired contracts for the hospitals to be reinvented and redesigned, if not upgraded. They are saying, why are you now rushing all these projects when all this time you were hearing about it and not acting? It did put tension in the room, from what I am told. The president was asking the generals to judge him fairly, like I said, and but not covering up for his wrongdoings. He did not even try and explain, but all he was trying to do was just to give them the facts at hand. This refrains him, but does not judge his wrongdoings or destroy his legacy. He's saying what he has done. He's praying. He's so praying that they preserve his legacy as a former president of Zimbabwe. He has been saved. The way he has addressed the meeting, he has saved himself from being a corruptionist, but instead a revolutionary leader who built his country during his time and tenure in office. The movement, he says, was historic, and the projects are real, and above all, so I'm asking you, what do you think is going to be the army's take to this? Because having been addressed and him having left, it means to say the army is going to have to remain behind and discuss over it, chew over the bone that has been laid to them. What do you think is going to be the outcome to all of this? I'm going to be coming later on with another challenge that has actually happened, where there is 12 chief army commanders who sit and determine the outcome of where the nation is going to go from here on. And of the 12, only 8 are present in the country. The other 4 are out of the country. I can tell you that the other 4 are in Russia. So whatever has been voted and wanted to be, they are still waiting for the other 4 to come. And they are the ones who are now going to determine, if not define, the direction of the wind from here. What should we be praying for now? Questions are being asked. People don't even know where to turn to. And the truth is just invaded what we call the public platform. Information is now coming strictly from special sources if people are to understand the position of the country. Hear me very clearly. I want to leave you with something. There's a presentation that I'm going to be bringing in regards to the V11s. The money for the printing of the V11s was transacted in South Africa. But the big question is, were all the V11s printed in South Africa? Don't forget, Zimbabwe has got the Zimbabwe Republic Police Printing Department. Were the V11s printed in South Africa or were printed in Zimbabwe? But the transaction was made in South Africa. I'm going to come and unpack all that for you because I have been given information in regards to that. Let's all be aware. Let's not use emotions. We want to come and want to make sure that if ever anything, there's got to be a round table that has got to be set and people discuss rather than stretching each other's patience and then ending up with the guns. Listen and listen to me very clearly. We are at a time where I want to believe and not shy to tell the leaders, the bosses, that one thing for a fact, if pride is not swallowed, disaster will strike. At this point in time, it's got to be a give and take. It cannot be a military position continuous. Otherwise, we will be heading for guns. Rather than us building, we will be destroying and killing each other. I'll leave all this up to you. It's just a presentation to the people that don't know how, some who don't know how politics operates. I want to believe a round table is the best move from here on. The 2030 mantra has got to be seized. If not, let the volume of it be toned down. And let's talk first about what is being trumpeted. Let the president serve his 2 terms. Or, let me ask, should the president serve his complete 2 terms or be extended to 2030? Or should he be challenged by the push of the VP, who seem to be gaining momentum at this point in time from his camp and the support that he's having from the people? His travels are not just the travels that we are seeing. There is something behind the scenes. You can only be shown where you need to see, but some private places that is going to, it's not for the general public.
Right, mukudzinzwa nyaya idzi. Hanzi vaMnangagwa vopedza here matemu avo maviri kusvika 2028 kana kuti vopfuurira kusvikira 2030. Inini hangu ndakamira panapa on behalf of you all, ndiri kuti aiwaka 2023 haina kupera. Takabirirwa, vanhu vari kuti vakabirirwa, ende maripotsi ari kutaura zviri pachena, ende mazvinzwawo futi Doc Makore vachitaura futi kuti ZEC ma1. Saka toita sei? Tovasiya here vachingochimhanya? The best way ndeyekuti mukuru anofanira kungosiya mabhutsu kana nhasi chaiye chaiye. He has to go. Zvekuti tichazosvika 2028, boys, pane zvimwe. Kunoda ndifonere paWhatsApp, number dzangu ndo dziri pascreen idzo, and then let's just talk for 10-15 minutes, and then toadaita sei tomba tabisika zvedu. And thank you very much to everyone who has been watching and who has been listening. Inini guys, kana tataura nyaya yenyika, I know I've been in Zimbabwe for a long time, and I know the situation kuti inorwadza sei kana usina basa, usina plan, uchingomuka from nowhere, wongomuka wogara womirira moms kuti vakuitire plan yesadza, wodya sadza, woenda pakona wonoputa mbanje, wodzoka futi. Mawan. So to those who want to get in touch with me via WhatsApp, you can call me right now, and then timbokurukura. Is the army really taking over, or is just propaganda to buy time? We have a right, and we have got the numbers, we've got the people who follows us. And a lot of people, 80,000 plus people, they have subscribed to this gospel and say, "Good ayewaka, he must not extend." Zimu is now Somalia. Number one, let me just put the comment there. Those who want to call, my number is on the screen. He must not extend. Zim is now Somalia. To the last number. ED must not even reach 2028. Let's wait for the results to be announcement. 2023 haana kupera and haana kuwina, haangaende mundara uyu. 2028 for what? Hanzi ngaabaye. Vanhu havasi kunakirwa and hazvisi kunakidzawo. And as kunakidza, there's someone trying to call me with a direct call. Please use WhatsApp, guys. Use WhatsApp when they're connected to the machine. Direct call won't work. Let's use WhatsApp. Let's use WhatsApp tono tizviri kufamba sei uye zvakamira sei tikurukure. I think I'm left with almost 13 minutes, because in the next 13 minutes ndofana ngenda baya. Nakuwina 2023. Okay, I think I have a caller here. Okay, yes, hello, you're live. Okay, I think I have a caller here.
DJ Holly.
Zviri kufamba here baba? Okay, yes, hello, you're live.
Yes, it's unfortunate kuti ndito vakadai zviri kuitika. I am alozviri sei pa 0.5 creative studio.
Boze good.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, I am loud and clear. You can carry on.
Yes. No, nyaya iri yandiri kuda kutaura nezvayo. Yes. Dai results ZEC ari kuitwa verify nemilitary aitwa uphold and zvanyadzisa vavengi. Yeah, that's my contribution, because I was so happy kunzwa kuti military ndo zviri kuitika, intelligence the military ndo zvavari kuita behind the scenes. Zvingatibatsire zvikuru.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, before you go, I just want to ask a question. Do you think Mnangagwa should finish till his second term to 2028, or he must just go now, or he must just continue to 2030 when he finish all his projects?
No ways. Because in the first place, I know that we not face with. I know that we not ED. DJ,
Yes.
my elections because of the social media. The whole world was watching what was happening in Zim. Fans
Mm.
ichita, zvayaita, and you could see.
Mm.
Hapana kuwina kwakaita mufacebook. Ngatobaya izvezvi zvekuti maresults akabudiswa apa because ndainzwa this other apostle achitaura achiti zvinhu hazvina kumira mushe. Seva yavainayo inoshandiswa muzimbabwe inotoratidza kuti munhu wega wega akaenda achinovhura seva achida kuchinja maresult anotoonekwa ende varitovaziva vanhu vacho. Those people should be named votorwa bva vakandwa mujeri. Zvonorifiwa izvi anofanira kunge achiwitsedha vanoti akanga awina ipapo poitwa re-election kana kuti akanga awina ipapo bhanzi ndiye ari kutora chigaro. Idi nono idi ngabaya tisintombomuda izvi.
Thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you very much, Mkomo.
Salute.
Right, to those who want to get in touch with me in the phone repa WhatsApp and then more share also muruda kutaura azina mukoma wangu andabva kutaura nawo idi anambobvira awina ngaabaye mfesu yawo even izvozvi ngaatobaya. We need something new, we need something fresh. Ndizvozvo zvikanzi how can he be a president if he cannot even read? Avana vascoda inanga I'm not worried. We can have a 2-year-old president or a 5-year-old president as long as zvinhu zvakanaka chete. People are able to go and buy groceries mushopu vachisara nechange, vachikwira transport yakanaka, vachiita mabasa avo zvakanaka, vachienda kumabasa vaane mvura, vaane magetsi. Hamutomborina basa nekuti matongwa nani. Munogona kutongwa kana nemwana mudiki chaiye ane 10 years. As long as zvinhu zvakanaka, people they don't want. Even dai ED zvinhu zvakanaka achiba mari nananenge nanachivhayo vake vachiita zvavari kuita izvi, people they wouldn't be complaining because vanenge vachiziva kuti magetsi tinawo, mvura tinayo, kubasa tiri kuenda, tiri kutambira mari dzakanaka, and they care less. They care less pazvinhu zviri kuita sei zvinenge zvichiitika izvi. Anyone achiri kuda thing ndasarwa ne7 minutes. I only have 7 minutes left. You can get in touch with me on WhatsApp. My number is on the screen right now. The phone rep WhatsApp, and then you pass your contribution. Please note kuti number is alright. Muno vangu vanozoona live stream iyo itapedza live kudhara, saka munozofona maoda kuisa ma contributions. I won't be able to broadcast them. Saka the best way unogona kuzongosenda zvako audio pa this number kana waona live stream iyi yapera kuita sei yapera kustreama kudhara. Waona live stream yapera kustreama kudhara. Guys, ndakakuudzai pane munhu ambonditi anzi DJ Holly unomborova stereki. I've been fighting my battles nevanhu veZANU-PF. Those ZANU-PF people, they want my channel to be closed. Saka nyaya dzacho dzakawanda dzakakura ende ihombe. But one thing that I always say, we don't give up. It's a struggle. We fight until the end. Until the end, we don't give up, and giving up is not an option. And the DJ, we want to come home, but pakaipa. And Ishmael, DJ, we want to come home, but pakaipa. Yeah, kudeni kwacho one. Even if you are in diaspora, urutopinda busy niye kuti vanhu vari kukuudza kuti every month tikuda mari. Zvinhu zvakaoma zvisingaite. Hanzi ngaaende uyu, people havasi kuda. ED must be stopped today. Yes, I know. One thing that I'll tell you and one thing that I'll give you a guarantee ndezvekuti mabigger heads, madhara acho ekumusoro, they watch this platform. And vanonga kuona kuti saka mufana ari kuita sei, zvakamira sei, zviri kufamba sei, ari kumbomba mari ndiani mufana, ari kusponswa nani, ari kuita sei. And then vachimbva vazoona kuti mufana uyu haatorina. He's just a Zimbabwean and are passionate about his country. vanotouya panapa kuti zvakamira sei. Vamwe vacho vanotondisira mainbox kumufana wangu chiri kubhondoka manya nenyaya iyo, touya nenyaya tomhanya nadzo. Saka pamwe pacho musamhanye kutuka, musamhanye kutaura zvisiri izvo, like vamwe vakubvunza mibvunzo yakawanda. Yes, it's your right to ask questions, but before tisati come up with the conclusion, ngatimboona kuti zviri kuita sei, tatazodzvanya. Ndikutaura. I think I'm having another caller here. I'm having a caller. Let me see. Why is it not picking up on the computer? What's going on here? Okay, what's going on? Okay. Yes, hello?
Hey, DJ Oli, zvirizei?
Boss, wekuti madia. Undinze?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? I think it's having network problems. Let me call you back. I think it's just having network problems right there. Let me see what you Jirufamba say uya zvakamira 1-1. Right. So let's give it time. Time is the best medicine. But we don't stop talking. We don't stop putting pressure. Madara anotoona channel inoi. I don't want to lie to you. They see. Sampana ya rubvunza tichi. Anoona ma comments enyu kuti vanhu vari. Okay, there's another call here. Let me see. I don't know what. Okay, there we go. Yes, hello? Hello? I don't know what's going on. Let me try this one. Yes, hello?
Hello?
Yes, you are live, Madia.
Yeah, because I was following your channel on YouTube.
Okay, yes.
And my contribution, I'm Martin Chiruka, and I've suffered a lot through the government of Zimbabwe, through Mnangagwa, since he killed the Ndebele people.
Okay.
And his contribution to the Zimbabwe nation is nothing, rather than greediness of his family, and that will benefit his family and his dirty deals. So we as Zimbabwe, who are spread all over the globe, we are calling for his immediate removal if he doesn't want to resign. That will help Zimbabwe, and Zimbabwe is a lot of talent. There's somebody who can take that position, who can be honest to the nation.
Yes.
Zimbabwe was not made in Mnangagwa's home. And it's not his. He didn't die during the war. So in Zimbabweans, today we are saying it's enough.
Yeah.
And if we have got soldiers, if we have got people in Zimbabwe who can hear me now, even if they kill me after today, I don't care. Because already I've lost a lot through the suffering of the people of Zimbabwe.
Yes.
So I'm calling for an immediate resignation or removal of Mugabe today, not tomorrow.
Mnangagwa, sorry.
And that 2028 nonsense is nothing. Or 2030 nonsense is nothing. No more election until we have a government that will be organized. Check some Zimbabweans anyway who are intelligent. We've got people who are intelligent in Zimbabwe to at least organize a government for now. And when they organize a government and we wait for a free and fair election, that won't be interfered with the soldiers or police, people of Zimbabwe voting. And you remove that called ZEC, and we have another electoral board that will be run by Zimbabweans who are genuine. And no more political killings.
Yes.
And no more this thing. Zimbabwe have got minerals. We can develop our own country on our own. Not to invite Belarus, not to invite anybody. Our hospital situation can be solved by Zimbabweans. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much,
Yes,
Mkoma, for
I
your
want to
contribution.
there are a lot of people who have got